Module 8, Import-Export Finance. Import-Export Finance Services for digital trade transactions under URDTT rules. Financial Service Provider Payment Undertaking Financial. A third-party payment undertaking, not the buyer or seller, can be a corporation, a bank, an individual, or the ultimate buyer of the goods and services. The financial service provider undertaking financial agrees to effect payment for the payment obligation buyer to the seller beneficiary incurred by the buyer obligor for the subject digital trade payment. However, the buyer remains liable under the payment obligation buyer unless and agreed to by each principal party and any other beneficiary. This financial service provider payment undertaking financial must be issued in accordance with all local and/or country applicable laws. URDT Financial Services Provider Financing has two options. One, to the buyer obligor, called payables financing. A financial service provider undertakes to pay the buyer's payment obligation to the seller beneficiary. Or two, the seller beneficiary, called the purchase order financing. A financial service provider undertakes to provide financing to the seller to support a purchase order. Summary: Import-Export Finance. The financial service provider is part of the digital trade transaction instead of behind the scenes supporting either the buyer or seller with trade financing.